Yo, what's up? We will continue our journey through the unnamed city. We will be fighting the remaining bosses in this area before we can move on. However, just a tiny foreshadowing, I will be back in here for the giant snake, as our guide through exiled lands, Moonraven, has told me that the snake is quite big, bigger than what we have seen so far, so naturally I want to pay it a visit. Also, Conan Exiles Age of War is coming soon, and I have mixed feelings about pushing to finish the journey through exiled lands and start on the Isle of Sipta, as from what I have seen, there will be quite a few important updates. Quite a few will focus on exiled lands, so it may be not the best time to explore Isle of Sipta. Anyways, let's dive into today's episode's goal, slaying more bosses. First one on the hitman list would be the Commander. Nothing special in terms of a design for this enemy. It literally shares a model with one of the skeletons we have already seen before. Regardless of the way it looks, we had to get through a few skeletons on our way to be able to clash with the big man himself, and once they were gone, we could shift our focus on him, free of interruptions. As per usual, fight was lengthy, as this one has about 15,000 health points, so I will jump straight to the conclusion of this clash. Well, more of an outcome. This outcome being some more fragments of power, or just one to be exact, and no other special loot. That is a shame, but what else I could do about it? Well, maybe show you where you can find the Commander. Moving forward, I was trying to find my way towards one of the remaining bosses when I have noticed a strange, very tall character in the distance. I wasn't sure at the time if they are friendly or not, so I came close, only to find that this is the Klael himself, one of the remaining representatives of his now fallen race. We'll have a quick chat with him.
I smell you, human. The stench of your kind has not improved throughout the eons. Ashes and dust, human. Ashes and dust. All that remains of what we once were. An echo of an echo. In my mind, I still walk the streets of our city. The iron scent of blood as I pass the temple of the old serpent. The thrumming power in my veins as I chant the ritual of summoning. The intoxication and ecstasy of knowledge. Ashes and dust. When the world was shattered, your people came to us as refugees. We were generous. We gave them the wild north. They built a city there amongst the trees and practiced weird sciences and worshipped their demon gods. For 1,000 years, there was peace and trade among our peoples. But your kind is ever seeking, ever grasping, ever multiplying. War was inevitable, and when it came, it was terrible. I see that you wear the bracelet, human. When the war between our peoples began, we created such to bend the prisoners of war to our bidding. My kind are long-lived and slow to replenish our numbers, and as we dwindled in the war, we increasingly came to rely on human prisoners to provide us with labor. To that end, we created the bracelets, to bond your kind, to control your movements, to allow you to understand our language, and to prevent your kind from escaping. But that was an eon ago. To what purpose they have now been attuned, I cannot say. I was one of the triumvirate that ruled this land. The archivist concerned himself primarily with the collection of knowledge, and the priest king had dominion over our spirits and the rituals of our faith. My people called me the War Maker, for it was my duty to keep them safe, and for a while I did my duty. I held the northern passages against the humans. Together with the archivist, I established the watchtowers to warn us of the coming of the humans. They burn still, bonded one. When their color changes, it is because those of your kind have crossed the borders to our kingdom with the intent to slay, burn, and kill. In the end, we were betrayed. During a skirmish in the north, the humans revealed a new weapon, forged of their strange science. It smashed through the ranks of my troops, turning those captured in its blast into solid stone. Those who survived fled south to lick our wounds. During this moment of weakness, the priest king came to me with a proposal. A new ritual to counter the human sciences. A powerful magic to scour the landscape and drive them forth. In desperation, I agreed. Do you understand, human? In ages past, this was the most fertile land in our empire. And then I unleashed the magic that created the sandstorm. And I lost control of it. I betrayed my people to a slow, dwindling doom. I have been alone in the darkness for a long time, human. Few have come to me over the eons. But there was a man who came here years ago. I had not spoken with another being for thousands of years, and there was a hunger in me for conversation. He did not wear a bracelet as you do, so he learned my speech, and he listened to me talk of this city and what it once was. And for a while, as I described it to him, it lived again in my mind. Perhaps I spoke too much. When I told him of the greatest artifact of our religion, the Serpent Ring of Set, he left me to search for it. And now your kind come into my city again, wearing the slave bonds and disturbing the dead. Time has taught me that coincidences are simply patterns that I have not yet understood.
From what I gather, humans have messed this place up. Well, surprise, surprise, we as mankind are quite good at that. Yep, let's move on to see what Aviary hides. I am quite curious, as we have been here in the last episode, just higher up, not on this level, where we can find a demon bat boss called Winged Death. I want to see how tough it is, considering its quite intimidating name. Apparently it is the easiest boss in the unnamed city to be fought with, as, unlike the other undead or lizard creatures, you can apply different debuffs, including the bleed itself, so it could dramatically shorten the time you spend fighting this creature. I haven't been using daggers, but you get the idea. And as with all the other greater enemies in here, this one has dropped a fragment of power, and with 30% chance to drop a legendary item, you may need to come here a few times to get one of them. Now we are going to get this guy. Literally straight after talking to Klael, I have set my target on the Watcher, as he's one of the last remaining bosses, at least the more difficult ones, to be defeated. I have figured that I haven't had many options as to how I could get there, so I have chosen to climb on one of the massive pillars supporting the structure that the Watcher stood on. Once I got up there, I was seriously expecting a sizable personal guard of the Watcher, you know, kind of like in the case of the commander himself, but nope. Just 4 skeletons and the Watcher, thus we've got to work, so we could get this one out of the way. And while our fighters were dealing with the problem, I was admiring the beauty of this fallen city. Something I shouldn't have done, as I haven't had a clue as of what happened to the slain Watcher. He just disappeared. I had a quick search for him, but to no avail. Regardless of what happened here, I had to get down to the ground level, and oh boy, I was so close to be back at the HQ in the expressway. Read, too close to die, so I have climbed back up and found a more suitable way to get back to the lower floor. Still not the safest one, but at least one that would guarantee my survival in one piece. And before I can focus on my last target for today, I want to share Watcher's location with you, so maybe you can loot whatever I have missed. Okay, last one on the list was Guardian of the Flame, but I wasn't entirely sure as to where I can find him, just because I have previously been searching for him and I couldn't find the area where he resides. However, when I was going away from the Watcher's location, I have found a live flame. This hinted to me that it may be what I was searching for, since I haven't seen any other open flame in this area. And it seems that the sixth sense was right this time. So I have jumped off the horse and started clearing the area from lesser enemies, so as usual Raven and T could focus on the big body. This was yet another lengthy and uninteresting fight. And once it was over, we have been awarded the same sort of goodies that we usually got from the bosses in the unnamed city. Fragment of power and nothing else. Due to a 30% chance to loot a legendary piece, I had nothing. And here is where you can find Guardian of the Flame. Just don't be like me and don't assume that the game is glitched because he is not there. He is, but on the lower level, not on the top one. Anyways, that would be it for today. Leave a like or dislike accordingly, drop a comment down below and subscribe so I could see you in the next one. Deynon out.